Okay, this is going to be an extremely long video, but hopefully everyone will enjoy it, or most people will enjoy it. If you don't know who I am, my name is King Ivy. I am a Pokemon Go trainer playing out of Toronto, Ontario. I've had the pleasure of playing in many places and have had many amazing experiences and great memories through this game. And this video is going to be walking through my, I don't know how much it is, like 430 max level Pokemon, and I estimated that I spent over 100 million Stardust to put this team together, and we're gonna walk through it. I'm also gonna walk through the videos that I used some of these Pokemon on, just to kind of give a little bit more context and a little bit more story. So this is going to be an extremely long video, so hopefully everyone will enjoy it. I am trying to grind my way to 10,000 subscribers. So if you guys haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, share this video if you think it's interesting, or it's going to be, or you think someone would be interested in seeing what 400 level max Pokemon are. Let's walk through the math a little bit. So I have 506,000 catches, as you can see here. I have 12,395 eggs hatched, which I estimate at 2,000 eggs, including star pieces, bonuses, etc., etc. I assume my catch dust is 150, including star pieces, double dust, weather boost, evolution Pokemon, etc., etc. And then berries, I have 304,000. Legendary raids, I have 11,090. I estimate 500. Sometimes it's 1,000. Sometimes there's periods of 3,000, 750, 0. So I think 500 is a pretty good estimate. And then daily streaks and other bonuses like opening gifts, your daily streaks that you get, your bonuses from those weekly special rewards, whatever research. All that stuff, I estimate around 1 million. That's probably very conservative. It's total dust of 113,449,220. And my current dust is around 9 million, which is the lowest I've been since April 2017, so about 2 years ago. And then my total dust spent is 104 million. So anyways, that's not what you're here for. You're here to look at all my max Pokemon and hear all the great stories I've had with them. So let's get it started. So I have favored them all. There might be a few mistakes here and there, the ones that I favored by accident, but let's go over it. So we'll go by highest CP, which is how the favorite is sorted. And you'll see here I have, starting off with my Mewtwo, with Psycho Cut, Shadow Ball, and Ice Beam. I got this when I was down in Irving, Texas, doing some raids with the great Kaito Nolan. And yeah, I got this off an EX raid while I was down there, so I was very fortunate that I got 98% Mewtwo with Shadow Ball, and I was able to double move it. So I got this off an EX raid in another city, another country. That was really cool, and it was really great memories when I was down there. And then next one this is when Mewtwo was out in regular raids and legendary raids, and I got this down when I was in New York City, walkthroughing with Noel, thinking too much last raid, Noel, Jordan, Charles, Bobby, Chapo, David, a bunch of guys, and it was really fun experience. If you ever get a chance to play New York City, it's like one of the greatest places to play in the world. Like, really great community, really great place to walk and to when it's not cold out, and really lots of Pokestops, lots of Pokemon, really overall really amazing experience, and I really enjoyed it. And I caught this 98% Mewtwo, which was a really fun experience. I know I said really a lot, but again, I've had like such an amazing time playing Pogo that that's the best adjective I could think of, or adverb, whatever it is. Next one up is this is October 2nd. This is the first Wafu we did of Mewtwo, or one of the first full day Wafu that we did of Mewtwo, and very fortunate to again get another 98%. I did 900 Mewtwo raids and was unable to get 100%. But for me, it's more important to get a team of 6 or 12, which you'll see later in videos when I'm talking about. But yeah, so it's super fortunate I was able to get that. And then this one was October 6th, 2018, again during the Mewtwo Legendary Raid window. And this is when we went for then the record for us in Toronto, which was 143 raids. And it was such a crazy Wafu experience that we went like full out. We were like running and so intense and it was very like pressure packed for me to and we were competing against Kansas City and we had lost the first round and I couldn't let down my team in the second round. So it was a really crazy experience. I mean, 143 raids, which surpassed our record at that point in time of 132. Since then, we've done 154. And again, we're looking to up that record even more now that we have 2 additional hours of raiding. But this Mewtwo will definitely hold a special memory because I ran from a 96 and I caught this 98 a little bit later. And then this is from Bonn, Germany. This is when I went over to Germany during the Mewtwo raid window. So you see I was in Toronto, I was in New York, and I was in Germany for the Mewtwo raid window. And got to raid with Eevee, Corny, Constantine, Rico, a bunch of other great German players. And we had set at that point in time the European record, and now it's being held by a Polish team. But really amazing experience there, and they were very accommodating to me, and it was such a great experience. And like I love playing Pogo because you go to these different places. Like these are people that I've never met in person before, and they just embrace you. They treat you like they're your friend for the longest time, and they just show you a really great experience. And I was super happy that I got a chance to go to Germany and play there. And then I went to Las Vegas. This is actually part of when I took my students to a conference, and I had a few days off before the conference started, and playing there. I have so many friends in Vegas. Lang, Jojo, Melissa, Holly, Erica, a bunch of other people. I can't even name them all, so don't get mad. I know Vegas people love to cause drama. So no shots there, but they definitely are very eccentric in their chats. And we had set then the Vegas record. Since then they have smashed it with the return of Rayquaza and Dialga during that overlap window, and it was such a great experience there. I remember going there, and I was with my partner in crime, Alan Cook, who lived in Toronto for a period of time. We did a whole bunch of duos and stuff, and Alan had flew down from Vancouver to Las Vegas just for us to meet up. It was kind of like a sort of mini meetup. Val was there, Cliff was there. I'm not sure they came for the Wafu. They definitely did not come for the Wafu, did they? Anyways, my memory's foggy there. But anyways, it was really intense to Wafu there. I was driving. Alan was helping me navigate, and we had navigated and drove in a city that we had never raided before, and we were able to set a really great record. And it kind of shows like how the principles of Wafu can really translate. Obviously, Earl was a really great input in terms of like, oh, is this gym accessible? Can we make it in time? Can we do this? And we took a lot of big risks. Some would paid off, some didn't pay off, but it was overall really great experience and learning experience, and something that will really hold dear to my heart for a very long time. And then we go to the EX ones, but actually let's go over some times where I used Mewtwo here. So we go over to this browser here. You'll see here we duoed 2 of the weather. Actually, did we do Mewtwo? Did we do Rayquaza as well? I'm pretty sure we did Rayquaza, but I may not have posted that video. But we duoed Blizzard, Kyogre, in snow with Ice Beam Mewtwo. That's why not in snow, in rain, with Thunderbolt Mewtwo. That's why I love Mewtwo. It has like really wide move pool of really great moves. Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Flamethrower, Hyper Beam, Psychic, like etc. etc. I'm sure I'm missing some as well. So really great move pool, allows you to be really flexible, and Mewtwo's insane attack stat allows you to take advantage of the weather, and even though it doesn't have the same type of attack bonus, is able to be really effective. And then we duoed Earthquake Groudon with Mewtwo using Ice Beam Mewtwo, which is, if you ever TM Mewtwo, it's really painful to do. It takes a really long time. Again, we Mewtwo duo Groudon. I'm not sure why we posted both. Maybe this is like Fire Blast or something like that. Earthquake is more difficult, but this is the trios we've done. All the different trios. My original goal was to duo Mewtwo in a bunch of different places, and obviously when they had the HP change, it resulted in going from a duo to a trio. So I went to a number of different places I wanted to do. Originally I wanted duos with 25 different people that I really admired their gameplay and that they were very close friends with me, but unfortunately that had changed. But anyways, these next couple Mewtwo's are just EX Mewtwo's that I had maxed for different reasons. I think Poliwrath was one of them. So here we had done Poliwrath speed duos, we duoed Bubble Hydro Pump, Rock Smash Dynamic Punch. All these I did with Alan Cook, and I needed the Mewtwo's in order to get these raids done. So back then they had Confusion Psychic as their moveset. But anyways, we'll skip over these EX Mewtwo's just because kind of told the story of it. They're just showing the EX raids. Some of them are interesting stories that we done, like interesting trios that we done when we did 18 Unique. I just can't remember which one is which. We did 18 Unique, or when we did obviously the trio with what are we talking about? When we trioed Confusion, Focus Blast, Mewtwo. That was cool as well, actually. Let's see here if I have it. Confusion, yeah, trio, Confusion, make Confusion Shadow Ball. I have a Confusion, Gengar, let's see here, Mewtwo. I may have to show them all. Let's see here if we can find this. This is a really fun video that I had done. Actually, let me just smooth this here. Cloudy Confusion Focus Flash Trio. I had done this with my good friends David Trang, Hundo Hunter. You'll see him in a lot of videos that I've done in the past, and Feng Shui, Joe Ash, a really great friend of mine, and one of the former top grinders. Still a very good grinder, but he had since moved on to different aspects of the game and different aspects of his life as well. So that's like, I had like a lot of really memorable trios, duo with Hems with the EX Mewtwo's, but just like not the right time and place for them. Or I can't really match up which Mewtwo's line up which one. The next ones are going to be Kyogre and Groudon. I'll try to remember when I did each of these. So Kyogre and Groudon. So a little bit of a story. I'll do like by stories, and then I'll be a little more thoughtful on that. Kyogre, my first 100% Kyogre that I ever encountered was back when the circle was much smaller and the Kyogre was much further away, and I was in London, Ontario, and we were trying to trio Groudon in no weather boost in that weekend overlap where with Kyogre and Groudon. And basically, I drove 3 hours to London, Ontario. Melissa Zabowski drove, I don't know, like 2.5 hours, 3 hours, something like that, across the border from Michigan, Detroit area, to meet in London, Ontario. We met with Steve Jackson, and we were like so close. There were so many runs that we were super close, and basically our goal was to like raid grade Kyogres and then get good Kyogres and power them up and then use them along with Waterfall Hydro Pump Gyarados in order to do the trio. And actually I have the trio attempt probably somewhere here. Let me show them all. So many duos and trios, like just I am like really happy with the portfolio videos that they put together. Like sometimes I watch them over. I know, loser watching my own videos, but it's so much fun to. You can see here's a trio attempt that I did with them, and we were super close. And it was such a. I love doing these trios and duos, and it's that thrill and anxiety, and the thrill and anxiety that you overcome when you actually complete it. When you know it's something so difficult that you've failed so many times, and you keep pushing, you keep trying, you try new strategies, try different leads, you try dodging, not dodging, different swap strategies, and forces you to get better. And I've been very fortunate in my life to have had many amazing duo and trio partners over the course of my Pogo experience. That it's just incredible. Like, yeah, like I can't. All I can do is smile when I think about it. But anyway, so we posted the trio attempt. So when I got my second Kyogre 100% attempt, I remember like pulling over and like I'm like, okay, I gotta get this done. Can't focus on anything else. And then when I caught it with like 4 balls left, I was super happy. And then since then I've had a bunch. And Groudon is something very special to me as well. Because for those that don't know, that are new to me or haven't been following me as long, or been following me because of PvP or whatnot. So when it was November 2017, there was like double XP, and I was super close to 200 million XP, and I was raiding a bunch of Suicunes because it was double XP on legendary raids, and I was pushing really hard and doing all that I could to do it. And then kind of at the end of that month, I was at maybe like 196 million, 197 million, and I was like, in the double XP event ended, and I really thought, I'm like, oh man, like yeah, like I love raiding. I love the PK community, the community in Toronto of very hardcore players. I love them to death. I love the Verified 40 Club that I helped build with people like Mark, like Jojo, like Casey, like so many other, and so many people in the past I had worked with. But I felt like at that point in time, like that my Pogo experience had come to an end, that I had built these communities. I felt comfortable that they were going to be led by amazing people and taken into directions that I couldn't take them any further. And then a series of things happened, which I won't discuss in this video because I'll save for a future video. I had come back out of retirement, like a just 12-day retirement, but it was really difficult for me because, to be honest, like when I put the game down on November 30th, I remember it was like a really tough decision for me, and it's tough for me whenever I leave something that I really enjoy and anything I really enjoy, but I know it's time for me to move on to something else and to put my energy and effort to building the next great community in whatever capacity it is. And that's something that I really strongly believe in and a strong proponent of. Is like, whenever I do something, I want to not only do my best, but really make this lasting impact and lasting change, where the community or whatever I'm part of will always be different. Will be different than when I first came into it. And so I felt like my time had come and gone, and then I came back as an admin to the Verified 40 Club, and I can't be an admin to the Verified 40 Club unless I'm playing this game. So I played this game, retired for like 2 weeks or something like that, and I started off slow. I was just like grinding a little bit, playing a little bit, then I was like, okay, let's raid, let's wafu. And we wafu'd, and I got 100% on my return back to the game, and I was super happy and super fortunate about that, because Groudon's certainly one of the best legendaries in the game, and it's very symbolic for me. And man, like, my life would be so much different, and I would be missing out on all these amazing experiences I've had since December 2017 through this game. Anyways, enough of that sappiness. It is Kyogre, Groudon, some more Groudons. We got this on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, and then more Mewtwo's, more Groudons, Kyogres, shiny Kyogre. I remember this is a pretty crazy experience. I got when shiny Kyogre came out, I couldn't really raid that much during the week, and then I raided on the Friday, and I got like a 98% shiny, and then I got like 14 shinies in like 2 days, including another 98% shiny. It was pretty chaotic as you can see here. I have 2 max out Kyogres. So there are times when I've used Kyogres and Groudons. Groudons, to be honest, not as much. I have some actually really interesting one here. This is actually one of my favorites. Kind of an old school throwback one. When we trioed Kyogre with only Groudons is one of my favorites. It really takes advantage of typing because Kyogre had Thunder, and Thunder actually did like less damage than Waterfalls, almost. That's not quite true, but and then Solar Beam, really OP move, super effective, and then as well his Battle of Ancient Pokemon is a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it, and did this with David Chang and Alan Cook, and we really needed sunny weather in order to accomplish this. And I remember I'm like, this was this February. This is like winter. This is like winter in Toronto, right? There's not sunlight in. There's not clear weather in Toronto. And I remember messaging these guys. And I'm like, okay, this is like pretty much like one of the last weekends Kyogre is gonna be available, and I was like, okay, it looks like it's gonna be clear at 6 a.m. on a Wednesday. I'm like, are you guys down? And they're like, we're down. And that's what I love with these guys. Like, they're just down to do whatever. Pick them up at like 5:45 a.m. There was no, raid starts at 6 a.m. So there was no like raids downtown. So we went all the way the east side of the Greater Toronto area in Scarborough. Did a raid in Scarborough. We failed the first time, and I'm actually not sure how the RNG can change, because like Thunder and Waterfall are doing about the same amount of damage. But very fortunate that the second time we were able to do it, we were successful, and then we got done. So it was like a really fun one that we had done. So that's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. That's one of my favorite ones. But besides that, there's not too many times we use Groudon. We have like trioed Rayquaza with Groudon and Kyogre. It's kind of fun. But Kyogre, there's a ton of applicable duos and trios I've done because of how strong Kyogre's movesets are relative to Groudon. So, for example, if we look through here, we duoed Tyranitar in Rain with Kyogre's. That was a really fun one. I remember like we were waiting all day for it to rain, and then it finally rained in like the last half an hour period of raids, and we rushed over, and then we were able to do this Tyranitar and able to get it done, and we beat with like a lot of time left, so it was like a lot of fun. Kyogre versus Raichu, that was a fun one. Moltres duoed with Kyogre, Sunny boosted, that was fun as well. One Heatran versus one Kyogre versus Heatran. There's a couple other fun ones. When we trioed Ho-Oh with only Kyogres. This is like a really difficult one too, because of the nature of the 1-bar moves with Kyogre. It made it really challenging to do it, but we were able to get it done. I remember Jolteon solo with Kyogre in Rain. I remember like there was like no maps back then, or no maps at that point in time, because they had went down, and this is very early on, and I remember just driving at lunch hour trying to find a Jolteon, and I found a Jolteon. I ran out of my car and walked like 10-15 minutes, because that's the only way I could get to it, and then I ended up failing with like a sliver of time left, and then failing, and then I found another one and I was able to do it. Kyogre versus Machamp. Tons of Kyogre versus Ninetales versus Kyogre, a bunch of different duos and trios that I've done with Kyogre as well against Kyogre. 6 unique Kyogre Rain duo. That was fun as well. I really enjoyed that one. Blizzard Kyogre with Mewtwo. Anyways, these ones we've already talked about. So anyways, more Kyogres. Oh, Regirock. Oh man, there's a couple. Regirock trio here in rain. I did this with Stephen Harris, my good friend from New Zealand, that came down to Toronto for the Verified 40 meetup that I was hosting, along with several other Toronto players. And then that one was kind of nuts because Stephen Harris's flight was like very soon after that, and we had like tried a number of times. And I love Stephen Harris; he's my boy. Really great trainer. Loves to do these challenges. Back when raids were first out, he was the second person to solo Flareon, so he was definitely on my radar for a very long time. The first trainer to solo Ninetales, so really great understanding of raid mechanics. Really great trainer, and we had trioed Regirock, and it was really difficult for us to do it for whatever reason, and it was just challenging, and we were able to get it done. And as well, I did with David Trang, and it was pretty awesome. I loved it. It was great. Okay. Anyways, more Mewtwo's, more Kyogres, more Groudons, more Mewtwo's. I have lots of Mewtwo's. I think I have like 18 Mewtwo's or something ridiculous. And then Dialga. Dialga's a relatively new raid boss, and I love to duo Dialga. We had like a lot of really fun duos. I kind of like overlapping between the Mon that actually did the raid and the Mon that we're raiding. So lots of really fun ones. So obviously I did some recent ones. Duoed Giratina, Origin Form Giratina with Dialga against Dragontail Dragon Pulse. I remember like a lot of people were criticizing my video here where I did Rayquaza versus Dialga versus Palkia against Giratina Origin Form with no weather boost, because I was going up against Shadow Claw, Ominous Wind in all three of these raids. And a lot of people were criticizing it because like, you know what, like that's not really showing where Dialga shines. Dialga shines where its steel typing matters, and steel typing matters when it's Dragontail Dragon Pulse. And it was still a very close raid, but a little bit more consistent. We did Dialga versus Togetic. That was a really fun one because, like, you know, people are used to doing Togetics with Metagross mostly. 7 unique Pokemon. Dialga Duo was a lot of fun. All Hariyama, all Blaziken, all Breloom Duo, all Machamp Duo. Tons of fun. Like the all Breloom one, I remember Sparkle Tangerine and I were trading like 100 Shroomish, you know. Trying to get luckies, trying to get good IV ones, and really grinding it out when they were available. And really, like, I'm actually a little bit surprised it has the most views, to be honest, but it's definitely a very worthy video. And then as well, the all Blaziken one, I remember going to Sparkle Tangerine, who I think is an amazing trainer, and I really have very grateful that she's been one of my main raid partners, because she's certainly developed her skills dramatically and her understanding of raid mechanics dramatically, and she's very eager to learn and willing to spend Stardust, which is I think really important when you're trying to do these like crazy challenges. But anyways, when we did all Blaziken, I was like, do you want to do this? Like, it's possible. The people want it. It's going to be really difficult, which is I think something that really appeals to her. And but I'm like, you realize that we have to evolve Torchic, that future community day is coming up. And she's like, I'm down. Let's do it. We've traded so many Torchic. We've like played this game, played these events to the optimal. Why don't we do it? We evolved them, and this raid was really difficult to do, really challenging to do, because Focus Blast is a 1-bar move. Blaziken is very squishy. We did end up doing against Dragon Breath Ironhead, so it does resist Ironhead, but still very squishy. 1-bar move means that it could be very swingy in terms of the RNG. But when we drove all the way to Scarborough again, and last like 15 minutes of raids, we show up, and then I drift out of this raid, and we try again, we re-lobby, and then we get it done, and I was super happy and super pleased about it. And then as well, we did all Hariyama duo, which I was hoping going to pick up a little bit more traction there. As well, we did the Draco Meteor duo, which was really difficult to do, all Machamps. And then as well, like these are all the times that I'm sure there'll be many future duos that I do with Dialga. It's a really great walkthrough Pokemon because it's very tanky, its typing is very great. Its moveset is what holds it back. Dragon Breath Draco Meteor certainly holds it back. It would be better if it had Dragon Breath Outrage or Dragon Tail Draco Meteor. But still a really great Pokemon, and something I'm really happy to raid. Palkia. Oh, Palkia. I love me some Palkia. And when I first heard about these when I first heard about these dragons, I was like, oh, man, I remember Cooked Art, Alan Cook was like, oh, are you going to do a lot of them? Are you going to do a ton of them? And I was like, they have a lower attack stat than Rayquaza. Doesn't look like they're going to have a better moveset. In fact, a worse moveset than Rayquaza. Like, what am I going to do with it? But then I realized, like, how fun these duos are. And then as well, how useful these dragons are. And taking advantage of their typing and their additional bulkiness over Rayquaza was something that I learned to really enjoy. Again, me with the reallys. So, anyways, there's speed duos I did with Palkia. I did with Hundo Hunter, which for some reason gained a lot of traction. I guess it was very early on. We did the all Gardevoir duo. This is before Palkia got an HP buff, or all tier 5 and tier 3 and above got an HP buff. Duoed with Gardevoir. I remember asked Sparkle Tangerine again. I'm like, one day I could get a community room set. Is this something you want to do? It's going to be a lot of fun, and we do it. And then the next day they HP buff it, and again, I remember I slotted two of my Gardevoirs in gyms. I'm like, screw it. I'm maxing 2 more. I'm evolving 2 more routes right now and maxing them because I really want to do this duo. And we were able to do it. A lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. And then we did Dragon Tail Draco Meteor. No weather boost. This is pre-buff. We did the Flygon duo, which is, oh man, so much fun. Like pre-buff in Windy, using I believe it has Dragon Tail Dragon Claw. It's actually a pretty tough raid to do. We did the buff Palkia duo. We did the Sunny Fire Blast duo. We did the again 12 unique. That's pre. We did the buffed Dragon Tail Fire Blast duo, which is actually even harder than the Sunny boosted one. And then we had just kept doing it. We did the Hydro Pump Palkia duo, and I was so excited when we got this done. I was like, I just honestly couldn't believe that we had got it done. We did the all Palkia type Typhlosion. No, this is that exciting. This is the most exciting one here. I didn't get a ton of traction because it's pretty late in the legendary raid window, but when we did Dragon Tail Hydro Pump, Dragon Tail hits really hard, Hydro Pump hits really hard, and it was really difficult duo to do, but I was super happy that we had gotten done. We had duo Dragonite and Palkia duos Rayquaza, and then we had done the comparison videos, obviously, so you guys can take a look at that. But Palkia, a raid boss I really like to duo and to do duos with, so it's really great. Ho-Oh is like, as you can see by the date, this is like around the time that I was retiring. Maybe this is like the second last day that I played. Pretty much the last day I played. I didn't really play on the 30th that much, and I got 100% Ho-Oh, and Ho-Oh is like a kind of special Pokemon to me. One of my friends, Victoria, she was really into giving kind of spirit Pokemon to people, and like a lot of her assessments were very accurate, and she's a very thoughtful and well thought out person. And I remember she told me, she's like, oh, your spirit Pokemon is Ho-Oh, because like you you're like a phoenix and bringing people back to life, and you know that was very touching. First off, so very thank you, Victoria. I'm not sure you still think that, but if you do, that's great. And thank you for that assessment originally. And you know that was very meaningful for me because you know in my life I really focus on helping people, helping the community, helping people reach their goals, and it's like this like undeniable feeling, undeniable attraction for me to help people, sometimes to a fault, but this undeniable, I can't explain it sometimes. Or some people ask me like, why am I so helpful, why am I doing this, why am I doing so much time and energy, and sometimes I don't know the reason why. And so it's very symbolic as well. Ho-Oh is a really great Pokemon to wafu with. We used it a lot against like Reggie Ice, well more so like Reggie Steel, and then as well against Groudon with Solar Beam because it does double resist. I don't know if I did anywhere special for. I think one of these I have from Texas when we wafu down there with my good friend Andres and Link and the whole crew down there. And super amazing, really great experience when I was down there. And then Rayquaza, my boy or girl, I guess genderless in this point in time because legendaries, Rayquaza doesn't have a gender. Rayquaza, oh man, so many I could talk about Rayquaza for an entire 2-hour period. So anyways, this video is going to be monstrous. It's going to take a very long time to upload, and then hopefully I can make it all the way to the end. But let's take a look at Rayquaza in all its glory. I think there's one more here. We duoed Rayquaza in snow against Dragontail Outrage. I remember talking with Scotty, my good friend, and said like, are you down? Are we going to do this? Are you going to max out some Jinx? Are you going to max out some Articunos? And let's do it. And we had done it, and it was in snow boosted. It was at a really drifty gym at York and Adelaide, and yeah, and we kept airing out because we kept drifting apart. And then as well, outrages were just annihilating our Jinxes and annihilating our Articunos, but really fun duo, and kind of like that was actually my first legendary duo that I had done. So I really hyped about that one. And as well, we did Rayquaza versus Groudon trio, 6 unique Pokemon versus Rayquaza and Windy Boost, Rayquaza versus the different tier 3 raid bosses. That was kind of a fun series that I didn't really pick up too much traction back then, but still a lot of fun. Rayquaza versus Absol. We did this Mewtwo trio with kind of like different legendary Pokemon. And that was kind of fun. We also did, at that point in time, what I consider the fastest Rayquaza duo. At least it was the record in the record books. And did this with Hundo Hunter, David Trang, on like kind of like the second or third last day of Rayquaza. We did Groudon and Kyogre take the revenge against Rayquaza in this trio. And then Rayquaza versus Jolteon. That was a fun one. We also showed like solo attempts of Walrein because I wanted to demonstrate how these different Pokemons would perform, and this kind of shows you like how weak super effective was back then, and then as well how OP Rayquaza was. So obviously as the super effectives have changed from like 1.25 I think it was to 1.4 to 1.6, how these super effectives have really impacted Rayquaza. But there was at a point in time where Rayquaza was so OP that a Machamp single super effective and Raikou single super effective was on par with a Rayquaza. So that was a fun video that I did. We did Rayquaza versus Gengar, Rayquaza versus Alakazam. Some of these are just like novel solos they had done. I enjoyed doing them, but they weren't really my thing, to be honest. Like there were some solos I really did, but these kind of like novelty solos weren't really my thing. Kyogre trio with only Rayquazas. I think I did this with Melissa, or I did this Alan and let's see, who did I do this with? Alan and David. So it was a fun one. Obviously not with there's so many. Okay, let's see here. There's so many they did here. So Rayquaza versus Regirock in quad. That was that was like kind of a chaotic one to do as well. Rayquaza versus Marowak in Windy. I think I did this one with Scotty. Oh man, like the first time we did it, we had failed, we timed out, and then the second time we did it, I think Scotty had like 50% health on his Rayquaza, which turned out to be fine, to be honest, because it only fates like 1.5 Rayquazas, because I'm like, okay, you're still on your whatever, right? He's like, no, I'm on my second one. I was like, oh, what the heck? But we were able to still do it, so it's kind of cool. Mewtwo trio with only Rayquaza and Windy Boost. This is a very special one to me because when Mewtwo first came out, we had no, well, at least I didn't do any research on that the HP buff had changed or how much it changed. People just saying that, oh, Mewtwo stats are changed. It looks like whatever, right? So like I live stream with Scotty and Kess of Calm, and we go in trio, and I'm like, and we kept failing. We basically failed for like 2.5 hours, and like 250, 300 people watching is really embarrassing. And I was like, oh man, tomorrow morning we gotta get it done. So I messaged Scott and Kess of Calm. I'm like, we gotta do this. Meet at 6 a.m. Let's get it done. I want to get it done. I feel so embarrassed that we had failed so badly on this live stream, and then it was windy weather, and I was like, okay, let's do it. I think it was a Psycho Cut Flamethrower, and we trioed with Rayquaza. We got it done. Super happy about it. Super pleased about it. Palkia duos, Rayquaza. That was fun. All Flygon Rayquaza duo in Windy. that was quite enjoyable. The Rayquaza solo I done with Best Friend Boost. I remember we had Wafu. We did the record day in Rayquaza, and I was like live streaming it as well. And then people were like, "Oh, you should do the mock solo." I was like, "Oh, I can't do it because like we're doing this record day, and this record day is more important than like my individual achievements and accomplishments and desires." So I was like kind of a little bummed out by that, but like I was like, one day it's gonna come. The next day, I wake up at like, I don't know, it's like 8 o'clock or something like that, and then I turn on my phone and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's snowing, right? So I message a couple of people, I go out, I meet up, and then we do the mock solo. 5 minutes later, it turns to cloudy or partly cloudy or something like that, and I was like, and it didn't snow the rest of that day, and I was like, wow, this is like something I dreamed about for a very long time. When they had changed the super effective, and then they had the stat reroll, and I was like, this is possible. It's possible without weather boost. And then they had changed the HP on Rayquaza. I was like, oh man, it's only gonna be possible if it's gonna snow. And like every time they announced the legendary, I was like, please be Rayquaza. And it wasn't. And then it was Palkia, and it was Heatran, it was whatever. I'm not saying in order. And then it was whatever, right? And I was like, oh man, it's like Latios. And then they finally made it Rayquaza. And then I was like, oh man, I hope it snows. And then it didn't end up snowing again in a period of time, but then fortunate things happen, and I got done. It's not the smoothest run. It's not necessarily an attempt that I'm very happy that I got done. It's not an attempt I'm super proud of because it wasn't like the smoothest dodging and the greatest game plan, but I got it done, and I was super pleased that I eventually got done. So again, kind of like something to check off your list. So really cool. This one here, only Frostlass and Glalie duo. This was a lot of fun to do. It got a lot of hate from the Sylph Road because they thought I was flexing. And, obviously a little bit of a flex, but I thought people, like shinies, and, I want to put shinies to use, right? Because, shinies to me are not that valuable because they kind of sit in your bag. They're only valuable for me as, trade fodder, trade bait to other people, to kind of like exchange. They really value shinies, and I really value legacy Pokemon or certain rerolls, etc., etc. And I'm like, okay, this is something we can do in no weather boost. And I told Sparkle Tangerine, let's try it. And first we evolved too few, max at too few. I was like, if we want to get this done, we gotta evolve 5 of them, and we ended up doing it. And you know, it got a lot of likes and relative to the views, but not as much traction on the Sylph Road or in other places as I thought they would be. We did the Alolan Ninetales Rayquaza duo, so it was so much fun. I love Alolan Ninetales. The Fairy Ice typing is a dragon killer. It resists all these dragon moves and then deals double super effective to a lot of the dragons. So 16 Week Rock, a bunch of different duos, the Gardevoir one, yeah, lots of different duos with Rayquaza. So I have so many Rayquazas that we had used over the period of time and in different situations. So super happy that we got it done. And I'm trying to think of a duo why I needed 12 Rayquazas, but there was some point in time. Obviously the Giratina duo, altered form, was one of the reasons why, because it was such a tough duo to do in Windy and I can't remember if we did no weather boost. Yeah, we did no weather boost. It was so difficult to do, but super happy that it got done. Tyranitar. So obviously these Tyranitar, I got a lot of them during the Rock event. That was in like May 2017, going around with my friends and hunting down Tyranitars and going all over the place. And you know, Tyranitars, I would say bite crunch ones are more from like a Wafu perspective. There's not too many interesting duos and trios just because like bite crunch is not that great of a moveset, and it doesn't yield that much DPS, especially when you're going up against ghost Pokemon, or like go up against ghost or psychic Pokemon. Ghost moves just yield more DPS, which allow you to do more interesting duos in trios. But certainly SmackDown ones, we had like a lot of fun. This is before obviously Rampardos came along. Let's see our fastest Ho-Oh duos. That was a lot of fun. I did spend the entire day with Hundo Hunter doing interesting partly cloudy duos of Ho-Ohs. I remember when SmackDown was first announced, a Ho-Oh was a raid boss, but and then someone had leaked, like Pokemon Company or something like that, had like put the wrong date of how long Ho-Oh was going to be around, and it was going to overlap with the community day window for Tyranitar. I was like, oh my gosh, gonna be able to do a Ho-Oh, right? Like, and we hadn't been able to do a duo for like a decent amount of time, right? And I was like, okay, here's the time, let's do it. And Ho-Oh is like this really tanky Pokemon that's like caused terror to raids for so long. That I was super happy that we got it done. And then we also did Lugia Trio. Or Lugia Quad. No, okay. Oh, Lugia Trio by Tyranitars in Partly Cloudy. Did this with Lucas from Poland, and then did with Alan Cookdart when we were in Chicago for GoFest. So that was one of them that I really wanted to get done, and we did against like whatever extrasensory future sites. So we didn't use the lobby, but that was a good one. We tried a couple different attempts, but got it done. So I was pretty happy. Tyranitar have been so useful for Wafu. When we use it for Cresselia, we use it against Giratina, we use it against Psychic Mewtwo. So many times I've used it, like one of the most useful Pokemon that have come out, and SmackDown more so for challenges, and then Bite Crunch more so for the Psychic Wafu options. Again, Rayquazas, lots of Rayquazas and Tyranitar, so I'm kind of skipping these over. I have so many of them, I don't know why. Okay, Latios. So I got this Latios when I went down to Texas. Again, really memorable experience there. Really enjoyed my time. And then Latios, there's like so many, fun Latios duos and trios that I really enjoyed doing. So we did my first Latios duo in Toronto with David Trang, and did like a pretty respectable time. Pretty happy with that. We did the world's first double psychic Latios duo, so that was a lot of fun. And I tried to replicate this duo with other people, and we just fell short a few times and unable to get it done. So it made me realize how special it was for David and I to get this done. We did it pretty early, the second day that Latios. We actually got it done the first day, and I just posted the next day, but that's whatever. And then 18 unique Pokemon Latios trio in windy weather. 18 unique, no weather boost. That was a lot of fun. Did this one with Alan and Mango, Dragon's Ilk. We also did Bug Trio. We did only Mewtwo. We did Fairies. And this is I consider my prime time that I did duos and trios, and a lot of fun. Bug Trio. I did Bug Trio in Toronto. I also did it in Texas. We did the Fairy Trio. We did the 18 unique, Mewtwo only. And then as well, I was very fortunate to do what I consider maybe it's moved a little bit down the list, but one of the most difficult duos I had done at that point in time, which was to duo Latios with only Dragonites. And Dragonites, much lower attack set than Rayquaza. And even with Rayquaza, not everyone was necessarily doing the duo. And people were like, oh, do you need Rayquaza? Do you need Rayquaza? And I'm like, I'm confident you can do it without Rayquaza. But we had tried for Kaito and I had tried for the entire day. And when we finally got done, it was a super, super happy experience. And it really changed my mind on raids in terms of faster relobbies, understanding energy management, and I really broke down the math of this video. So of this duo, so super happy that we got it done. Did the Latios versus Latios trio, Dragon Latios versus Machamp, Latios trio again. Latias trio using only Latios. That was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that. And then Mewtwo trio with only Latios when it was EX raid. So that was kind of fun. And I did the 1v1 of a level 24 Latios versus a Chansey. And then again, that made me appreciate 1v1s and all that stuff. Way beyond my skill. Again, Latios, Tyranitars, Dragonites. So in Toronto, there were a lot of Dratinis. There were a lot of Dragonites and a lot of spawns of them, and I was very fortunate to get a whole team of them. And again, I had Maxies out for that particular challenge, Dragonite versus Latias. At that point in time, I actually had max 0 of my 100% Dragonite, so it's actually kind of cool to max them out and to put them to good use. And all these Dragonites I have. Metagross. First off, I love Metagross. When Metagross got Meteor Mash, I was so excited. I was down in Texas. Not down in Texas. I was over in Germany when it was Metagross Community Day. Belgium Community, I should say. And I remember speaking with Evie Corney, who's amazing, who I think very highly of. And she asked me, are we going to do some duos and trios? And I was like, Mewtwo duo is no longer possible. I'd done all the situations telling her that we're going to spend the entire day just doing duos and that kind of stuff. But it ended up, being kind of ruined because of the HP, the tier change for Mewtwo. So I was like, there's going to be one really challenging duo that we can do that right now no one's thinking of, that no one's pondering about, and I was like, that's the duo Tyranitar with Metagross. As long as Meteor Mash is somewhat comparable to Blast Burn, to Frenzy Plan, to to these community day moves that we've already seen. It's going to be possible, and we get to Metagross here, and then we had done it here. Let me see. Actually, let me just go this way. I'll just show all. Nope. Okay. Anyways, I just wanted to see the numbers on this one because again, it's well, nope. Okay, that's not what I want to see. Oh, whatever. Let's see here if it allows me to show it. Nope. Okay. Anyways, whatever. One of my most favorite duos I done. I remember we went to Central, the Super Mall in Germany, and we drove maybe an hour from Bonn or somewhere, and it's this incredible mall, like full of so many Pokestops, and then when it was all lured up, so many spawns, and it was crazy as in chaos. And we're very fortunate that I was like, oh, there's a tier 4, right outside the mall, right outside the mall. And we were taking a bunch of pictures, group pictures, and we did a billion XP Instinct group picture. And then I had asked Eevee Corny, I'm like, can you go check what moveset this Tyranitar has? Because if it has Iron Tail, Stone Edge, Iron Tail is resisted by Metagross, so is Stone Edge because of Steel typing. I was like, it's going to be possible for us to do it. She bolts back and she's running, she's super excited, which is why I think very highly of her and have great admiration for her. Super excited, and she's like, oh, has this one. She takes a screenshot of it, and then I was like, oh my gosh, that's the right moveset, let's go. We go and do it. We do the duo. I post it, and it's just one of the thinking ahead, execution, a lot of luck from having the right raid boss, and then getting it done was super fun. So Metagross, I need to bury that gym. More Tyranitars, more Dragonites with Dragon Breath Outrage, more Metagross, more Tyranitars. I'm not gonna go over these ones. Shiny Metagross, Heatran. Oh man, Heatran we kind of went over a little bit, but let's go over some of these duos and trios that we've done. Let's just start off here. So first one I did was a duo of Heatran with Machamps, with my friend Scotty, and we had failed at first, and then we tried again, and then we got done. I was super happy about that. And then the next day, Sparkle Tangerine like, what's a difficult one we can do? I was like, you know what? Let's duo Heatran with level 20 and 25 Groudon. And she's like, no way. And we did against Bug Bite, Stone Edge, and we got it done. And I was like, who needs level 40 Machamps when you have level 20 or 25 Groudons? We did the Flygon duo. That's the first time that we powered up Flygons. And yeah, that's just craziness. Like, who has a team of Flygons? Like, of course, Sparkle Tangerine and I have a team of Flygons. We did 12 unique Pokemon against Heatran, 12 unique fighting in Cloudy Boost, Heatran duo with Gyarados, one Machamp, one Kyogre, some speed duos, one Flygon, Breloom duos. This one actually didn't get as much traction as I thought, which is why I was a little bit surprised that the Breloom versus Dialga got so much traction. And then Heatran's overall a really great walkthrough Pokemon, really useful when we were going up against Metal Claw, Draco Meteor, Dialgas, because they just could tank it like crazy. And then Salamence, there's so many videos that I could have done with Salamence. Okay, let's just go to the analytics here. So this is actually a new video I just posted here. It's actually getting pretty good traction. You can see here, you can see some of the analytics here. You see, like, typically after first 3.5 hours, my videos get between about 400 views, but now this one's at 2,500. So anyways, Salamence, this community just happened yesterday, and you know what? I've been waiting. This one's the Draco Meteor one, so this is an old one that we use for like 12 unique dragons or whatever, unique challenges, all that stuff. And I was like, Salamence, I've been dying to use Salamence in these, like, all Salamence versus Rayquaza, all Salamence versus Palkia, all Salamence versus whatever, etc., etc., Dragonite. But I couldn't, evolve these high IV Bagons I had, and I was like, okay, I've been waiting, and we finally got it, and I used Salamence against Origin Form Giratina and compared it to Palkia and Rayquaza, and it actually performed very well against them. So super happy. Salamence getting Outrage is not game breaking. It's not meta defining, but allowed me to use a different dragon, and now Salamence is not just that goofy looking dragon. It's actually a very powerful one with Outrage. So you can see here all the ones I use, they're already dead. Heatran, some more Salamances, more Heatran, then Rhyperior. When I use them as Rhydons, they were very effective to Wafu with against Raikou, and then these Rhyperiors have been cool to use. Did a couple different duos here. Solo Ninjas, obviously, and then all Rhyperior duos Dragonite. That was actually a pretty difficult one to do. I remember asking 17 shots, like, are you willing to max out some Rhyperiors? And then he said he was down, and that's why I'm like super lucky as his trainer to get it done. So 6 Rhyperiors here. Lugia. Lugia for a couple reasons. Lugia is a really great Wafu Pokemon. I remember everyone was making fun of me, like, oh, why are you using Lugia against Mewtwo? Well, like, when you Wafu, it's different than when you're like raiding just at that particular location. When you Wafu, you're like leaving the location as soon as you're leaving the raid to go to the next raid, to drive off, to walk off, to bike off, however you're doing it, and you're leaving the raid and you can't rejoin. Because you can't rejoin, that means you have to survive, and you have to think more about TDO. And Lugia, really tanky, one of the highest defenses in the game with a very respectable HP, and yeah, just does has a not an amazing moveset, but a pretty good moveset that allows it to yield a lot of TDO. But we have a lot of fun with Lugia. I remember when we did, where's this trio? What did I call it? Lugia Trio? Oh, man. Ooh, here you go. World's first Lugia Trio. I wish I could put the audio on here. Oh, man. Like, actually, this might be a slightly bad idea, but let's try it anyways. Let's see here. Is this playing? Oh, because we're in the catch sequence. Okay. I remember the story behind this is that it was raining. This is back when there's like maps just went down. We have no idea what the moveset is, and I was like, okay, I'm messaging my friends. I'm messaging Scotty, David Trang. I'm like, okay, let's get together. Let's put some really good speed times together, and let's see how it goes. And we're waiting for Scotty. Scotty's running late, so I was like going to David Trang, I'm like, you know what? Let's just try it. I don't know. It's clearly Sky Attack based off the default, but I don't know if it's Dragon Tail or Extra Sentry. Extra Sentry is supposed to be easier, and no one had the idea that a Lugia Trio was even possible. Looking back at now, it's definitely possible. Obviously because we did it, but looking back at our further understanding of these raids. So let's actually, watch. Let's just raid. So I'm going to speed up 2 times. It's a little bit more bearable since this video is going to be super long anyways. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted by my own video. Hopefully not. That would be terrible. And you can see how much in sync we are. We're all fainting at the same time. We're all hitting wild charge at the same time. These sky attacks are not doing a ton of damage because Raikou with its electric typing does resist sky attack. And this is before I actually used to do like commentary in my videos. And my understanding of like raids has improved so much in duos and trios. But again, ideally we want to hit 200 and be like somewhat in the fourth number. And like we're on a really good pace right now. We're gonna hit this, and then we're able to get off this wild charge, and we're like exactly on pace. I was like, okay, and then I put some like weird editing for some reason. I don't know why. But anyways, continue on. Oh, because someone sent a message, that's why. And then I was like, okay, this is looking really good. And then we flip it here, 159. I was like, we're not going to get this done. Like, 159 is still pretty tight for a trio, right? And hit it here. Wild charge again. And hopefully we can hit one more wild charge. Oh, man, look at this RNG. Look how amazing that RNG was. Like, we're able to get this off. And then I think David Chang heals first. He comes back in. And then Hundo Hunter and I are gonna trio here. Gonna heal here. And I remember Yilong from upstate New York was like king. That was the smoothest relobby. Actually, I think he wrote it down there. We'll watch it after. We'll read the comments afterwards. This is why I like so many memories with these Pokemon. Oh man, I love it. I love it. And at this point in time, okay, actually, let me put it to normal speed, and let me just back up a little bit here, and then Raikou's faint here. And then David Chang thankfully record the audio. And sorry for the cursing. I'm actually gonna turn the noise a little bit. This is me shouting. I'm like, oh my gosh, did we just trio Lugia? I was like, oh my, I was like losing my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, did we actually just do this? Like, no, I was so happy that we recorded that audio because it's such a genuine experience. We got a shiny, we got a good one, and just craziness. And you can see how funny this distortion is. Like, clearly I didn't do twice as much damage as Hundo Hunter and David Chang, but the ratio is quite funny. Okay, so Lugia, really great walkthrough Pokemon. Lots of really fun challenges. Probably one of the most epic group raids. Dueling Groudon when it first came out was like one of those. I like, oh my gosh, did we actually just do that type of experience? It's a lot of fun for Lugias. And then Origin Form Giratina, a new member of my team, so I don't have a ton of memories with it. We have done a bunch of different duos with Origin Form Giratina. No weather boost. We did a whole live stream on it. We also did the mirror match, which I enjoyed a lot. A lot of fun doing that. It's such a cool Pokemon. When it got its new moveset, it definitely made it way more viable. And again, I have 5. I'm gonna max out another one. Metal, mostly for PvP. Really great PvP Pokemon with Thundershock, Rock Slide, and Flash Cannon. And then Latias that I got down in Texas. So I got a lot of hundos down in Texas, a lot of IIV ones. Must have had some good luck there. Again, mostly use these for like unique challenges. Zapdos, obviously Team Instinct. You know, right in the comments section below. If you're Team Instinct, give it a thumbs up. If you're not Team Instinct, give it a thumbs up as well for this video. I had originally powered them up for video. I think it was like Lugia, like each of the birds versus Lugia or something like that. Entei more so for like Wafu Pokemon because attack stats kind of low relative to other fire Pokemon, but super tanky, super bulky. That's actually not. Okay, that's fine. That is not that is not legendary. No, that is not a maxed out Pokemon, I should say. Moltres. So many fun times with Moltres. Obviously, we duoed Moltres. Old school Golem duo with Scotty. 12 unique with Hundo Hunter. Duo with Kyogre with Scotty. Moltres duo in Sunny with Scotty. We also did Registeel. Trio, like a live stream of us doing trios with champs, speed trios, all this like really fun different situations that we had done. So Moltres, I powered up so many. I powered up so many because we were gonna trio Regice with Moltres, and our plan was to do it at GoFest. I had originally planned to do it with Melissa and Kaito, but that kind of fell through. And then I was doing more raids with Alan, and we're supposed to do it with Colton from Portland, Colonel Hotlock. And unfortunately, every raid boss there was not Regice. It was Lugia and Articuno. So kind of squashed our plan. Regice went away after that, and we weren't able to get it done. But it's totally fine. Raikou, one of my favorite Pokemon in the entire game. So many great memories with Raikou. The Kyogre trio. Kind of like when we this trio here is like kind of what put me on the map in terms of these group raids, because before that we didn't do a lot of these like group raids and whatnot, and obviously we didn't do it like, I guess we did like a trio for Groudon, but it wasn't that special. But this Kyogre trio is the first time I like the first person to do a no weather boost trio, and the first video that got like a lot of traction besides my Flareon, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. And then we did a whole bunch of different scenarios and situations, and as well we used Raikou for Wafu and a number of different situations against Suicune, all that stuff. Actually, Suicune. This one was like one I had like really great pleasure of doing. I did it with Landon Swartz and Chris, and it was such a pleasure to do this trio. I drove all the way down to Buffalo with Brent, one of my good friends, and Landon and Chris were gracious enough to agree to do this trio. They also had powered up a bunch of Raikous, and we had failed the first time, and we were super close. And I was like, okay, obviously we need to dodge a little bit to get this done. And you'll see like how different the raids looked here. First off, there's no button here. You have to like hold the charge move. You gotta wait for the charge to come up here, then hold it, and then there's like this black window. It's kind of weird. And then we have to dodge here. You can see how basic my dodges are. I don't even know. Does it tell you if you dodged or not? Yeah, so weird looking at how raids were here. It used to tell you that you're using Wild Charge. It tell you dodged. So try to do really efficient dodges here. And I'll skip over to when we flipped it here. But because we're going to survive, that's totally fine. And we get to red. When do we get to red? Here, like 86. I feel pretty good. I think I'm probably on my fifth one here. And then now I'm on my last one. I'm like, okay, maybe no more dodges after this one. So even if it hits me here, I guess I did try to dodge there. And I just try to spam it here with wild charges. And then I remember you used to hold down your phone. It was so stupid back then. The button is a way better mechanic. And when we did this trio, it was a great honor to do this with two amazing trainers. So, or Raikou, lots of members. I think I have 6 Raikous. I did trade one to my good friend Trish. Gyarados, like, you know, when Gyarados got Waterfall, it like captured my heart. Like, that's all you needed, Gyarados, to do that. So, I don't know. Sometimes not the best at spelling Gyarados here. This is my Mass Evolution ones. I guess Groudon trio maybe. So I did trio with only Groudons. Man, maybe I didn't post it here. I do have a weather boosted trio that I did with Colin and Josie, who are now a couple. I'd like to credit that trio helped them bring them together. I'm joking, but the trio with them in rain. We kind of like met halfway, and then I think it was against like Dragon Tail Fire Blast, and it was a pretty difficult one to do, but we got it done. And I was super happy that we got it done, especially with friends that I've like played with so long. I grinded with so long, and then I kind of moved to the raid meta, and it was kind of cool to. And this is like just me getting back to the game as well. It was kind of cool to do it with two friends that like grinded so much with, and kind of like mixing old with new. Lots of Gyaradoses. Giratina. Ooh, Giratina. Anyways, the no weather boost duo was extremely hard, and I done it with Kesselcom, with David Trang Hundo Hunter, and it's just really difficult to do. There's like times I remember we were streaming it, like we tried like 20 attempts and only got done once, and then on our 21st attempt on a new one, we had beat it with like 10 seconds left. So the RNG was so crazy, especially with like Outrage. It's so crazy because it takes so long to execute the move. Obviously now it might be a little easier. Well, actually it might be a little more difficult because now the HP buff makes it different. Gyarados, Togekiss, like just really good for Wafu. Like against Double Dragon moveset, it basically just tickles Togekiss, and Togekiss is so tanky to begin with, and with Dazzling Gleam, it's gonna hit with super effective damage. I don't know if we've done like any interesting duos. If I had more Dragon or Ice ones, we may have done some interesting duos and trios. Ooh, Mamoswine. You know, Mamoswine was like one of those Pokemon, like when Gen 2 dropped, Swinubs were everywhere in Toronto. It was just pure chaos. You can see how much candy I have left. Just pure chaos. Like, and there's so many, but I remember like doing some research. I'm like, wow, Mamoswine stats are legit. Like, it's gonna squash every other ice Pokemon that's out there right now, and I can't wait till it come out. And it came out as a community day, and we immediately used it in a number of different scenarios. Mamoswine. Obviously we duoed Togetic with Mamoswine, which was a lot of fun, and then as well we duoed Origin Form Giratina with Mamoswine. So like, just Avalanche is such an amazing moveset. Powder Snow is pretty good, very high energy generation, and Mamoswine is just overall really cool Pokemon. Its typing is not necessarily the greatest, but it's also not terrible as well. More Togekisses, more Mamoswines. Porygon Z, this one I just evolved. I powered up as part of my live stream for Gen 4 prep. Unfortunately, didn't get a good hidden power. This Slick Outrage one, I'm never using it. I did it as part of my Origin Form Giratina prep / altered form one, but never ended up using it. We used Mew in a number of challenges and whatnot. Celebi, haven't had a chance to use Celebi, to be honest. It's kind of a waste to power it up, but that's fine. Espeon, more of a gym defender, some unique challenges, but not too much. Dragon hidden power Togekiss I got from my friend Jade. Some more Snorlaxes that I mostly slot in gyms. Regirock, we did this as part of Mewtwo. I can't remember which one it is with what I called the video. We basically did like 24, 23 unique legend. Where is this? Oh man, where is this? Maybe it's later on. Anyways, I can't find the video here. But here's unique legendaries, mythicals, and pseudo legendaries versus Mewtwo. And I was like, I kind of like split it into groups. Like that kind of made sense. So we watched this video here. I don't know why the gap is so weird here. Kind of poor editing on my part. And then, as well, they're not using the lobby trick. I don't know why. So, anyways, there you go. Oh, because they like record the video late. That's why. That's so weird. Someone's using all legendary birds. Someone's using the weather trio. Someone's using like the psychic Pokemon. And I forget where the Reggie. And then as well, pseudos here. This is a huge pain in the ass video to edit. As you can see here, it's not really designed for 5 here. Let's see here. Celebi. Maybe this is me in the middle. This is probably me in the middle. And then I probably have Reggie Rock, Reggie Ice, and Reggie Steel, which is why I have them maxed out here. Anyways. Vaporeon's more so for gym battles early on. I used to do like gym battle videos early on. That's like kind of like my thing. Late night gym battles. Taking down a level 6 gym, taking down a level 10 gym. Lots of them. That's actually like one of my videos like had like a decent amount of views early on, and I was like, oh, maybe this is something that I should be doing. Here had like 9,000 views for whatever reason. Like it's an okay video, right? Destroying a level 10 gym. I used to like do all these like just post all these videos me taking down a level 9 gyms and getting like decent views for like how small of a creator I was back then. I'm still not like a big creator, but something pretty interesting. Going over like commentary live stream I remember I used to live stream every Saturday at noon, so it was not necessarily the greatest live streams, but those were fun. Full gym battles, like they were like hour-long videos. They were kind of intense. I don't know why some of them like picked up more traction than others, but whatever. I remember I used to grind, catch like 500-600 Pokemon, and then go home and like spend like 45 minutes an hour taking down gyms. And I use Vaporeon's Law, also sliding them in gyms. I used this Attack Deoxys in, I think this was in the Kyogre. Let's see here. Kyogre. Obviously, it's one of the newer ones. What am I looking so far ahead for? Hey, this is like one of the 12 unique or 6 unique something like that. Heracross. I remember I got this Heracross when I went down to Florida. I was with Victoria and Brent. We decided to go down to Florida. It was actually very gracious. As part of my 50 mil, when I hit 50 mil XP, the community had bought me a ticket to Florida to go see my friend Casey, and I'm very thankful, and also very appreciative that they bought me that gift. And we flew down to Florida, and we met up with 85 Pokemaster. If you guys follow anyone on Twitter, Pogo related, you should know 85 Pokemaster. One of the most intense traders, someone that really loves Pokemon Go, and really intense trainers. I remember there was a Hundo Heracross at spawn at a golf course, and then I was like, me being the Canadian, I was like, oh, let's just politely ask the security. And then they were like, cases, I don't know about that, right? But obviously in a much better accent. And then I remember we go up there, and they're like, no, right? I was like, oh man, get turned away. Casey's like, let me try my way. He scales the wall, scales the fence, tags the Heracross for a bunch of people. And this is like our last day in Florida, at least my last day in Florida. And then And then he comes back, he's like, someone's phone's locked. And I was like, shoot, that was my phone. He scales again. He's like, there's them rattlesnakes on the other side. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's so intense, so amazing. Like, super thankful that we got it. I did this as like when we first duo Tyranitar. I used 3 Machamps, 3 Heracrosses. I don't know why, because I really liked Heracross back then. Unfortunately, I lost that footage, but we did the duo maybe like 2 or 3 days after the Japanese brothers had done the first duo. Gardevoir, I slot these in gyms a ton as well. We did like so many interesting duos with Gardevoirs. We did the Gardevoir versus Rayquaza, Gardevoir versus Double Dragon Palkia, Gardevoir versus Gengar, and then as well we use Gardevoir a lot for Wafu, and then Gallade. We did this as part of, I think it was Palkia. I want to say Palkia. No, not Palkia. Dialga, like 6 unique or something like that. I can't remember. 7 unique Pokemon in Cloudy. So we had used Dialga, Glade for that. Some more Gardevoirs, Vaporeons, Electivires. Electivires we use as part of the Kyogre duo that we had done. Kyogre no weather boost, so we used a team of 6 Kyogres and 6 Electivires, and then Sparkle Tangerine basically did the inverse. She used 6 Electivires followed by 6 Raikous, and then that way we wouldn't lobby at the same time. Gardevoirs, more Vaporeons, more Electivires. Electivires, like, to be honest, we grinded out Electivires a ton, right? And yeah, just like grinding them out, like we were or like Electabuzz, like we were trading Elekkids and hatching them like crazy and trading them, going to nests and trading them, and until we formed like doing the raids, doing the quest research, the 7 super effective, and to try in preparation of knowing that Electivire is gonna have the highest electric DPS, and that was gonna help us duo Kyogre later on. And then here I have 6 Hundo Alakazams. You guys, I don't need to say why I have them, but you guys know why. And then here I have so many Machamps. I remember I had 6 Maximum Machamps originally, and then we were trying to do this trio here. This Machamp versus Registeel trio, and we had like failed so many times, and I was like asking Victor, I'm like, I know people have done it without having a second team, like, but why don't we just have a second team? Like, we grind this much, like, let's just have a second team, and this is how we're gonna guarantee that we're gonna get the raid done. So I had maxed out like another 4 of them, and then I'm having like a team of 12 and all this stuff, and I have this one here I named Charles. I'm not sure if I'm gonna trade it to him, but it is a consideration. That has Karate Chop, Cross Chop. I had evolved this the day before Gen 2 dropped and the moveset changed. Electivires, Articunos. Articunos a lot. I use a lot for let's see here, for Rayquaza initially. That's the reason why I had nope. Okay, that's not what I want. Rayquaza, I use a lot for like Rayquaza duos, and I'm not sure. I actually did a video attempting, kind of showing like, maybe I never ended up posting it. That's fine. But I did a video showing that that it was possible to duo, potentially duo, Double Dragon Rayquaza, which was seen as a feat like people weren't sure was possible. But I had done it as like a solo with Articunos. Articunos, very tanky. Still happy with the utility I got out of them. I'm not going to pretty much use them anymore, except for challenges. But they'll always hold a special place in my heart. Especially I play with a lot of Team Mystic players. Lots of Articunos here. A Flareon. Did I post this video? Absol. Hopefully I did. not sure if I ended up posting this video. I think I did. Let's see here. No, okay. But anyways, I maxed out 6 Flareons because I was in Germany with Evie Corney. And if you know Evie Corney, obviously inherent in her name, she loves Eevees, and she is Team Valor. And obviously her Eevee of evolution of choice is Flareon. So I was like, you know what? Let's max 6 Flareons and duo Absol with Flareon. So I had done it, and yeah, it was actually way more challenging than I thought it was gonna be, but it was still a lot of fun. We kind of did it like the very end. This Arcanine has Flamethrower. Is that Legacy? I think that is Legacy. Flamethrower is Legacy, which is useful for like when we did like Reggie Ice unique ones. Executors. I think we did this as part of like the grass trio against Kyogre. So many, and then the Hoenn Executor. There's actually one of my favorites. If I could spell Executor, we did all Executor versus Giratina duo. That was a lot of fun. Obviously, Origin form. Obviously, these as 18. We did 18 unique mons versus Latias, featuring Alone Executor, was a relatively new mon then. So more Flareons. Donphan, I think I did this as like a 200 million, 300 million video. And same thing with Melodic, Weavile. Oh man, we have I really not too many. I did one Weavile versus Deoxys, and then Weavile versus Groudon. Weavile I really liked. I really like its design. As a Pokemon, has like good stats and movesets, and like the dual typing makes it a really effective dark attacker and really effective ice attacker. I'm like, at one point in time, I'm like, people were like, what do you want? I was like, because I had like all these unknowns from Japan and Tropius when I went to Japan Safari Zone. And like, what do you want? I'm like, just give me Sneasel. And then I was so determined to get a good team of Sneasels off trades, and I never end up getting a hundo off a trade. I got this one off a call out, and got it, but I still have a bunch of really good ones. Scizor, we did like obviously the bug trio against Mewtwo, and then the bug trio in Rain, which was our bug trio. I don't know why I only have 2 perspectives, because I think Scotty forgot to record. But we did the bug trio in Rain. Obviously, we also did it against Latios. It's a lot of fun. This Arcanine, I'm not sure why I have it maxed. And then Weaviles, more Flareons, more Weaviles. This Rampardos is actually not maxed, but should be maxed. Alone Executor, more Alone Executors, Weavile, more Scizors, Weavile, Confusion, Solar Beam, Confusion, obviously a legacy moveset, more Alone Executor, Scizor, and then Swampert did as part of like, I think I maxed it out as part of challenges, because we, as a water Pokemon or a ground Pokemon, both really effective. Used as a ground Pokemon against Heatran, and then water Pokemon against like Groudon for unique challenges. Roserade was like a fun duo we did recently. We duoed Togetic No Weather Boost with Poison Jab Sludge Bomb. So that was a really fun video. We dropped a million dust on the spot. And I have like a pretty good team. Pinsir was getting a part of the bug trio. More Roserades, more Pinsirs, more Machamps. This Machamp I actually got traded from JoJo in Vegas, because I was giving her a level 40 Rayquaza. And then these golems. Oh man, this is like probably one of the most influential things that I had ever done. Flareon solo. Let's watch this video here. This is like one of the most influential videos. This is like a big turning point in my Pogo career. I remember on the old Verified 40 Club page, there was like a lot of debate on whether or not Flareon could be solo. Some people posted pictures that were a little sketchy and whatnot. And then I was like, let me settle this debate. I have the dust. I have the Pokemon. Let's get it done. And the first night I went out, tried a bunch of times, and kept failing and failing. Got super close. And then I only had 3 golems at the point in time, and I had enough candy because I was evolving them for XP, the Geodudes, even though we just had the rock event. And then I was like, I have all this rare candy. Let's put the golem. And then I put the golem, and I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to tell everyone, but afterwards I'm fine with it now. And then I had done it, like powered up more, and then it kept failing. The next day, the morning before work, I tried one attempt. I got super close on flamethrower, and I was like, man. And then all day, all the thing about work was like that Flareon solo. So I go to like one church, try to get done, didn't get done. And then I remember 100% Geodude had spawned somewhere in the city. I was like, no, I'm on a mission. I have enough golems to get it done, and let me try it. And I show up to this like park, and then I give it a shot here. And let's watch this video here. Yep, I am gonna fast forward it here, and as well I'm gonna turn the volume. I like this music that I used, and you can see like how basic the raid system was here. There's no flash here to indicate like the charge is coming, or obviously you know when the charge is coming, but you don't know like when to dodge. And here you had to like hold down. Look how basic this is. You have to hold down to do the charge move, and then here I swipe. And then this is where I coined the term called smart dodging, where basically you can dodge, so that way if you would have KO'd anyways, you can like dodge and then utilize the energy in order to do the charge move. So I call that smart dodging, because I remember people were like, oh my gosh, like you broke the simulators, like. And I was talking to Ryan Solanjo about it, Pokebattler, and I was like, oh no, it seems possible here. And I remember just thinking about like trying this so many times, looking at the numbers, trying to help other people get it done too. And then I didn't realize like how difficult this was gonna be. Thank goodness Stone Edge is quick, because or else I wouldn't have been able to register that. And like you can see, like this is before iPhones got recording features, so I'm like recording with my Android phone on this thing, and this is like one of my most famous videos, my most watched video. It was like this really basic version of it. And then we're gonna hit the Stone Edge here, and then flip it at 90. Man, it's so close here. I was like, I gotta get this done. I gotta get this. Look at that dodge there, with almost no health left. Faint right away. Oh man, such a like. Again, my ability to do raids and to dodge has improved so much, but how much I learned from when I first attempted these solos to when I did this one. This is my first raid boss solo, and so it was pretty amazing. I decided to tank this one here, and then I'm hoping that I can get one more off. Let's see here, flip it at 46. So I'm like, oh man, it's possible if and then I just need a miracle here. Get the Stone Edge off, faint to this I think it's Fire Spin Overheat, and we're getting down to the last 30 seconds here, and I was like, am I gonna get this done? So many times I've timed out and failed over and over again trying to get this raid done. At least from that point in time, my perspective on it, I wasn't used to failing this much. And then I get this Stone Edge off, and then I was like, this Flareon basically has no health left. And then buttons go away at 4 seconds. And I was just so excited, like one of the happiest moments in my Pogo experience. And I was like, you can see here, I was like, I put my phone down. I was like, I don't even know what the hell am I doing? What are you doing, King? I just soloed Flareon. Like, just pure enjoyment. I didn't understand at that point in time how big of a ramification having these golems and doing this solo really meant on my whole Pogo experience. Like, I probably wouldn't be doing these raid challenges. I probably wouldn't be playing Pokemon Go right now, to be honest. And sometimes things just line up in the right way, in the right fashion, and it's just a beautiful thing, a beautiful thing. And obviously, we use this actually. Let's see here. Let me search it this way here. Nope. Let's see if I can find it. This was supposed to be my retirement trio here. This is supposed to be my retirement trio. This is the last Pokemon Go I wanted to play back then. This is November 30th with Josie and Melissa, two of my closest friends, two people I admire really greatly. And I remember, using these golems here. You can see like how different the images are. And then we're going up against, I think, Extrasensory Brave Bird here. It's so different here. It's so cringy watching not so much the performance, but like how we had to do raids beforehand. The epic window, like, here comes a charge move, and then like trying to get this off here, and like no battle parties, and oh man, it's so different here. Hit this Stone Edge here, get it off, and then get hit by another Brave Bird. Ho-Oh, use Brave Bird. Oh man, so different. Like it's like, this is amazing. I love and then here, get it off. You see the energy is like this pink. You have to like look up there. It's so much different. When the button came out, I was like, wow, this is significantly easier to work with. So I get this Stone Edge off. I remember like holding it on the screen. I'm like, come on, charge move, please come, please. And then so we're having like really excellent RNG here. And back then I had no idea on like mechanics of like all these different things, right? Obviously I had done solos back then and continue to do solos and all that stuff, right? So let's see here. Hopefully hit this Stone Edge and then feint to a Brave Bird. We're in like a really good position here, as you can see here. But I think we end up all lobbying at the same time, which was one of our flaws and caused a massive health rebound. Let's see here. Unable to get the energy from there. I didn't understand energy mechanics at all, and all this stuff. So different. Let's speed this up here. It's kind of a reaction type video to all my old videos. And then here we flip it 159. So crazy here. And then here I think I lobby out early. Actually, lobbying out early is like way smoother back then. And then here I have so few max revives. And then here you have to name them and select them again. Like, how cringy is that? It's so bad. And then here I was like, oh, we're super close. Super close. We're getting near the end and I'm getting super excited. And then we beat there with like 13 seconds left on the confetti. Like, whew. And that was supposed to be my retirement trio, so I can only imagine. A lone golem. Use this part of like some like unique challenges and whatnot. Rosa Raid. Yen Mega, haven't got a chance to use it yet, but hopefully We're gonna do some interesting yen mega challenges. This is the Executor I got from Trish. I traded her lucky level 40 Raikou, Roserade. This one is not maxed either. Pinsir, Empoleon. We used as part of, I think it was Groudon Unique Trio, something like that, or Heatran. I think it's Heatran in Rain. Typhlosion, I'm not sure what we're using Typhlosion for. Maybe it was Regice, Registeel. Jolteon, it was definitely for Ho-Oh Trio, which I don't think we end up getting done. Blastburn, Charizard, this is probably for Regice or Registeel. Obviously, infinite amount of Gengars. So many Gengars, like, Confusion, Focus Blitz. This is actually like, Zam here. I have, this is one of the videos where I'm like, this is, I think someone put in the comment section. Yeah, this is what I consider one of my best solo performances. Probably my best one, because like here, we're obviously getting destroyed by these confusions here. I have 100% Shadow Claw one, and then this confusion's coming here, able to hit this. There you go, hit that Shadow Ball before fainting here, and then gonna get hit by here. And at this point in time, I don't think anyone knew that you could do Confusion Focus Blast or Confusion at all with Gengars, because they were also afraid of. And then here I dodge it. Oh, that's such a beautiful dodge there. Get the Shadow Ball off, feint it, and then here I'm on my third Shadow Claw Gengar. And I don't think anyone knew that this particular raid was possible. So I feint there. And so I'm like on my fourth one, so I need to dodge a little bit more. And then, so I do dodge that Focus Blast there. And then I'm going to be able to hit one more, hopefully. And I've got to dodge here, so I can get the Shadow Ball off. And the energy management, all that stuff was just so, like, yeah, one of my best performances. And I'm on my fifth one. So it's getting tight. It's getting a little iffy. So I do double judge there. That's probably my only error that I made there. And then I dodge there. And I should be able to survive this. Get off another Shadow Ball. Feint right there. I'm like deep into the red. And I'm on my last one. And I'm like, okay, I gotta manage the energy appropriately. I gotta dodge at the appropriate amount. So here I'm going to hit the Shadow Ball. Going to hit Shadow Ball one more time. And then I'm going to have to dodge here. And then I have to dodge one more Confusion. And then let's see here. What's going to happening? And then I dodge right away. Oh man, just one of my greatest solo performances. Really understanding energy management, understanding dodge mechanics, understanding all this, like, just, yeah, one of my most favorite solos that I've done that doesn't get a lot of views, but I think real soloists really appreciate this video. So again, Gengars, I have like so many memories. Trio Mewtwo, man, so many. I just like spend all day. Which is, I guess, what I'm doing right now. Spending all day. We did like this is more recent than that. Trio and Fog, Confusion, Ice Beam Mewtwo, Trio and Fog, with Ultra Friends, 6 unique Pokemon versus Mewtwo. When I went to New York, I landed and I was like, it's fog at the airport. I'm like, is it fog in Manhattan, Midtown, like where we're going? And then I messaged the guys there and they're like, yeah, it's fog. I'm like, screw the train, screw whatever. Hop in a taxi. I'm like, get me there as soon as possible. Sorry, I sneezed there. I was like, get me there as soon as possible. I need to do as many trios as possible in fog. And we just go off there. We have like 3 hours of fog. It's like, I couldn't imagine a more magical experience than you get your dream weather, your dream Pokemon, and then you get all these like fun raid challenges. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just the craziness in me, but it was like when I saw it at fog, I was like, oh man, we gotta do this. We gotta do 6 unique Pokemon versus Mewtwo. We gotta do trio and fog, speed trio. We gotta do confusion. Like, confusion's never been done before. We got, a bunch of different stuff. So, really amazing and fun experience. And obviously, I have so many experiences with Gengar. I remember when Gengar got Lick. We did the comparison between Lick and Shadow Claw. That was a really fun video. We did Gardevoir versus Gengar. We did some speed duos. I used Gengar versus Jolteon. Just like, this is one of my favorites too. Is this the right one? October? No. Maybe it's Claydol. Ooh. Yeah, this is one of my most favorite performances too. Just because it was really tough. I only had one Shadow Claw Gengar, and then I had a bunch of like Sucker Punch or Hex. Okay, we'll see. We'll see here. Actually, let me speed this up. Again, watching a lot of my old videos here. Hopefully everyone's enjoying it. Kind of telling these stories along it. So here we're going up against Psychic. I think Zen Headbutt Psychic. Which was like, I don't like doing. First off, I'm not sure that many people knew that this was possible before I did it. And I'm using Sucker Punch. It looks like Hex. It looks like Hex. And then I failed this so many times. I was like running on so little time left on this raid boss. This might have been my like very last attempt, or second last attempt that I could possibly do. And then I need to dodge Psychic, which is difficult to do. And then as well need my Gengars to survive. So I think I missed one dodge, critical dodge. Let's see here. There, I missed that dodge. And I'm like, oh man, now I'm in huge trouble. I was like in a good position, health wise for my my Gengars, and then also I am not. And then end up fading there. That's fine. And now I'm on my last one. And I was like, I gotta really manage my health and energy here in order to get this done. And then you can see here, there's no like yellow flash, which some people don't really notice, but there's yellow flash now that indicates like when you can dodge. Back then there was no indication besides like seeing the charge move, then you have to like understand when the activation window happened. But it was tons of Gengars. Gengar Challenge Day, when Gengar raids were out, tier 4s, those were like super fun to do. Luxray, I did sort of like some 12 unique challenge, not the greatest IV ones, but I'll just power up whatever to get these challenges done, because I don't know necessarily when they're going to come back or if I'm going to still be playing back then. So for Alligator, so we've done, I don't know how to spell for Alligator. For Alligator, we did against Tyranitar, and then as well we duoed Typhlosion with Hydro Cannon for Alligators. So those are fun. Obviously the Blazikins there. A Dazzling Gleam Alakazam that I got from Scotty. Thank you, Scotty. More Blazikins, Gengars, Blazikins, Hariyama. You would have saw Hariyama. Originally, I just had one as part of like these unique challenges. Then all of a sudden, they're like, okay, let's do Hariyama versus Heatran, against Dialga duo. That's where the craziness begins. Lots of dust spinning. Aerodactyl, I think I did as part of Ho-Oh unique trio. Sceptile with Frenzy Plant. We end up failing and never completing this, but I'm sure we'll find a use one day. I actually maxed out 8 Frenzy Plant ones because what I wanted to do as part of my 500,000 catches video was to do it on a Tyranitar that I was going to duo with Frenzy Plant Sceptiles. Blissey for gyms. Mach, I think it is part of like 150 million, 200 million video. Gengars, Sceptiles, Rayquaza. This is not. I had unstarred all these, but because the servers were so laggy last night, they they restarted wherever. Walrein did as part of like unique Rayquaza duos in snow with Melissa. Over this Venusaur, I'm not sure why I haven't maxed. More Gengars. Kabutops, I think it was part of, I can't remember what one. I think it was Ho-Oh because of its rock moves. And then a Honchkrow. We did one Honchkrow versus attack form Deoxys. Gengars. Scyther is part of like this unique bug challenge. This Arcanine is as well. Not there. Okay. I have a lot of them, apparently. I should double check this. Water gun, rock slide, hydro pump. I remember seeing this and like getting it, and it was like, and I remember just keeping my bag because it was a really high CP Almastar. I don't know why. Like I kept cleaning my bag, but I'm like, oh, it's kind of high CP. Then I had like Legacy rock slide, which is cool. Flygon, like a bunch of Flygons here. So during Bulbasaur community, I actually got soft ban on catches because I had caught too much the day before, so I couldn't catch any. So Cooked Art Allen was gracious enough to trade me Frenzy Plants once it was available. Kingdra we did as part of like either like Regirock or as part of like the Dragon Breath version of it is for Latias or Latios unique ones. Lucario, I just use that for Masters. More Gengars. Houndoom as part of like, unique Dark or Mewtwo or any of that stuff. Breloom's, obviously the Breloom. I really wanted to duo Tyranitar with Breloom's, but I just couldn't get it done. But we ended up still using it for Breloom duo versus Dialga, Breloom solo Shiftry, Breloom versus Heatran, and then a bunch of other ones. So you see I have too many Brelooms. It's Kingler as well, not maxed. Tauros, I think it is part of like this like fun video, like 200 million, 300 million milestone or something. Mischievous, I want to say like Giratina, that sounds about right. Giratina unique duo or something. Anyways, not too important. More Brelooms, so many Brelooms. I have so many Brelooms. Jesus, too many. It's Gengar. This Lapras here, I'm not sure why I have it maxed. This Poliwrath I use as part of unique fighting. Mostly unique fighting, not so much water because it doesn't really have great stats for water Pokemon. Let's put it that. Hitmonlee as part of these unique fighting, I want to say. Unique fighting Tyranitar, 6 unique fighting Tyranitar, and then 12 unique fighting for you actually see this Vileplume as part of some sort of challenge. Then these Jinx for Rayquaza. Actually, this Jinx here was my 500 mil Jinx. Kesselcom had traded me a Smoochum that turned out to be lucky 100%. So I evolved it for to be a Jinx, and that's a little bit cringy. Granbull as part of these like fairy challenges. Cloyster as part of like unique ice. Slowking, I think it was just a fun video. Absol as part of like these whenever like dark is needed. I can't remember. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I had to take a brief break because it was a little bit overwhelming talking for so long. That was over 2 hours at that point in time. So is Magneton. I have it for Gen 4 prep. Unfortunately, Magnezone has not appeared yet. This Toxicroak I use it as part of my Ultra League team, but we're going to be doing some fun challenges with Toxicroak in the future, so definitely watch out for that. Blastoise is used as part of my Ultra League team. Claudon I use as part of my Ultra League team. This Moltres is not maxed. Registeel, again, I use that as part of that one video where I had like all the unique like legendary pseudos, mythicals. Victory Bell as part of like unique grass Kyogre trios. Part of my Ultra League team. We needed it for Kyogre 18 unique. We ended up never not succeeding in it. Magmar as part of my Gen 4 prep. Unfortunately, I haven't evolved into Magmortar yet. And then I use this one as part of my Ultra League team. Shiftry you use a lot for like Mewtwo or like 18 unique Mewtwo or like against Latios and Latias because it has like the dark typing. The grass typing helpful too. Lunatone, we use it against Ho-Oh mostly. Moltres as well. I haven't had a chance to use that's Solrock, and I haven't had a chance to use Lunatone yet. Manectric as part of I can't remember. Anyways, like some sort of like unique challenge. Hitmonchan as part of the unique fighting. Alolan Ninetales, one of my favorites. With that ice and fairy typing we talked about earlier, again, it goes really good against the dragons, and pretty fun. And then Banette has used it as part of my unique challenges against Mewtwo. Cacturne, same thing. More Alolan Ninetales. Blossom, I don't think we've ever used it. I think it's, or same thing with Wailord. I think it was like borderline gonna use it, but I ended up using it in a video. More Alolan Ninetales. Tangela used it as part of like 12 unique 12 unique duo of Rhydon when I was down in Texas, and I had the Legacy Power Whip, so that was kind of fun to use. And this Santa Hat Raichu, I used it as part of Ho-Oh 8 unique trio, which we ended up not succeeding in. And then Sharpedo I used a lot in as a dark Pokemon and as well as a water Pokemon. So I have two versions of it. One is dark, one is water. Sudowoodo used as part of the Ho-Oh trio. I did it out in Texas. And then Umbreon, that one's just for fun. Venomoth, I think I intend to use as the Mighty Moth challenge, but I haven't got around to it. Glalie, Frostlass, you guys know as part of the shiny Rayquaza duo. Sableye, I use as part of my Twilight Cup team. Really amazing Pokemon in Great League. Yanma, because someone told me to do it as part of Tempest, I think it was Tempest, because it's flying. Medicham, I love Medicham for Great League. In fact, I love it so much I have two of them. And then Magnemite as part of prep. It was for Boulder, but now it's used as prep for Magnezone whenever that comes out. And the very last one is Ditto. Just as a fun video, but I still want to use it one day. I just don't know in what capacity I can use it in. But anyways, I'm gonna obviously a lot of content there. A lot of I'm gonna attach the videos together, post it. If you guys like this video, like seeing all the Pokemon that I had maxed out over time, how I spent 100 million Stardust. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm grinding my way to 10,000 subscribers, so it'd be super helpful if you guys could help me out there and share this video and like it, and I'll see everyone in the next video. And thank you very much for watching and subscribing.